Hello, little dreamers. Welcome to Naeem's Story Nook, where every story sparkles with kindness, courage, and a touch of magic. Today's story is about a very special boy, a boy whose heart was brighter than the sun itself. His name was Tendo, and he once did something no one in his village had ever seen before. He shared his shadow. So find a comfy spot, take a deep breath, and let's begin our story. The Boy Who Shared His Shadow. In a quiet village by the edge of the great savanna, where the grass shimmered like gold under the sun, there lived a boy named Tendo. Tendo was kind and curious, with a laugh that rolled across the plains like music. But there was one thing about him that no one could explain. His shadow never left his side. Even on cloudy days when everyone else's shadows disappeared, Tendo still danced beside him, stretching, jumping, waving like a playful friend made of sunlight and air. Sometimes, when the wind blew softly through the tall grass, villagers could hear Tendo's voice ring out, "Come on, Shadow, let's race the wind." And off he would go, running across the hills with his shadow following close behind, both of them leaping over rocks and laughing into the breeze. Then one year, the rains stopped coming. Day after day, the sun blazed fiercely above the village. The rivers dried up, the ground cracked, and the once green fields turned brown and dusty. The air shimmered with heat, and the laughter that once filled the village faded into weary sighs. Even the trees bowed low, their leaves trembling as if too tired to hold on. Tendo watched the people grow weaker, the animals search for shade that no longer existed. One evening, he sat by the edge of an old dry well, staring into its dark emptiness. "If only I could help everyone feel cool again," he whispered. The air was still for a moment until a faint, gentle glow rippled across the ground beside him. His shadow shimmered in the moonlight and spoke softly. "You can share me," it said. Tendo's eyes widened. "Share you? But how?" The shadow's voice was calm, like a soft echo. "Give a piece of me to someone in need. I'll grow back. Love always does." The next morning, the sun rose hotter than ever. The ground burned beneath bare feet, and the air was heavy and still. Tendo stood in the village square, surrounded by tired faces and drooping heads. He looked at them all and took a deep breath. "Come," he said, spreading his arms wide, "rest in my shadow." As he spoke, his shadow began to stretch, slowly at first, then wider and wider, spreading like a soft, cool blanket across the dry earth. It reached the feet of the villagers, then their knees, then their shoulders, wrapping them all in its gentle shade. The people sighed in relief. Children giggled as they danced in the cool darkness. Even the goats bleated happily as they lay down beside their owners. The whole village seemed to breathe again. But as the sun began to dip behind the hills, Tendo looked down and gasped. His shadow was shrinking. Bit by bit, it pulled away from the ground until only a faint outline clung to his feet. Then, just as the last sliver of sunlight vanished, so did his shadow. Tendo stood alone. "Oh no," he whispered, "I gave it all away." That night, the moon rose full and silver. The world was quiet except for the soft rustle of grass and the hum of crickets. Tendo sat by the same dry well, feeling a deep, aching emptiness inside him. Then something stirred. A shimmer appeared on the ground, a faint flicker like the reflection of light on water. Slowly, it grew brighter until Tendo saw his shadow again, glowing softly at his feet. It swayed, danced, and stretched tall beside him, whispering in a voice filled with warmth. "See, Tendo? What you give with love always comes back, sometimes bigger, sometimes brighter." From that day on, something magical followed Tendo wherever he went. Whenever someone in the village felt tired, sad, or hot, a cool, soft breeze would rise and wrap around them like a hug. The villagers would smile knowingly and say, "It's Tendo's shadow, still sharing its shade with kind hearts." And if you were to visit that village by the great savanna at sunset, you might still see a boy and his shadow dancing together across the golden hills, a living reminder that kindness, once shared, never truly fades. From that night on, whenever someone in the village felt hot or weary, a gentle breeze would follow Tendo wherever he went. They said it was his shadow, still sharing its shade with kind hearts, because kindness once given never truly leaves.